Hi everyone, it's Kaylee and welcome back to my channel. One of the questions that I get asked the most is not only how do I read so many books, but how can I afford to read so many books? Because reading 365 romance novels in essence means in theory I would be buying 365 romance novels in a year. And I can't afford that. I do have a full-time job. I am married. My husband has a full-time job, but we also have a mortgage, a car payment. We have utilities. I don't know about anybody else's utilities, but where we live, our utilities are atrocious right now. Not to mention the fact that I have a 5-year-old who enjoys, food and a roof over his head and things like that. So I can't afford to buy at least 365 romance novels in a year. So to answer the questions, where do I get my books from? The number one thing I'm going to suggest to people is to check out your local library. And this is not just for physical books, though that is a great resource, but also for their digital collection. So my library uses Overdrive and the Libby app, and that is where I listen to all of my audiobooks come from there. I have found that Amazon's Audible subscription is not worth it for me. $14 a month for one audiobook and then having to pay for every other audiobook, that's not worth it for me. So all of my audiobooks come from the Overdrive app. So I have my own account through my own public library. And then I also found that there are some libraries who let you pay for out of county, whatever memberships. There are quite a few who are open to US residents. So if you are in the US, there are some more available for you. However, I am Canadian and I haven't found any Canadian libraries that do this, but I have found that the Queen's Public Library will let you have a library account for $50 US a year. And now I am paying for those. I'm paying for my subscription. But in addition to the audiobooks, I also do get ebooks from there. They have a very high holds limit, and I find that they do buy sometimes for new titles, such as like Iron Flame, the new Fourth Wing book that's coming out soon. They have already pre-bought 300 copies of the audiobook. So that means 300 people are going to get that audiobook on release day. I luckily am one of those 300 people. So, and I will put a link below to the Queen's Library so you can check it out. So that one isn't a free resource. It is $50 US a year, but the amount of holds as well as loans you are allowed to have varies with each library. So my personal library is only 5 loans and 5 holds at a time. However, Queen's Library, it lets you have 30 books out on loan at once and 20 holds. So that is where I get the significant amount of my audiobooks from. I'm also that person where I'm literally checking my Libby app like at least 3 to 4 times a day to see if they have uploaded new books. So I might be a little thing, but that is where I get the majority of my books from, my ebooks and my audiobooks. I only purchase books if I have already read it and I know that I love it and I know that it's going to be a reread for me, or it's a book in a series that I'm going to want to finish the whole series, or like it's an auto by author for me. I have a few of them. Abby Jimenez, Katie Roberts, Mount Olympus series is an auto buy for me. Anything by Elsie Silver is an auto buy for me right now. So things like that I will buy without having read them first. But for the most part, like just generic romance novels, I will usually only buy them if I've already read them and I know that it's a book that I'm going to reread. And because I've been trying to burn through so many books so quickly, I haven't had the urge to reread books lately. So that's why I haven't bought a whole lot of new books. But there is that. So I look for sales. I hit up Indigo when they have their buy 3, get the 4th free. I do have the Indigo Plus, Plum Plus, whatever it's called, that gets you 10% off of all of your purchases, as well as being able to collect points and use them there. So I do have that. That also, I believe, is $40 a year for the Plum Plus. So this is the first year I've done it. So after right when my Plum Plus expires, I'm gonna look through and see whether the 10% off actually ended up saving me money. You can usually go back through your records and kind of see, especially with your online orders. So I'm gonna do that to see if it's worth getting the Plum Plus again next year. Another good resource is Kindle Unlimited. And as much as I usually dislike giving Amazon my money, for a lot of self-published authors, Kindle Unlimited is their only source, their only way to get their books into people's hands. And it's also been able to springboard some authors, such as like Elsie Silver, who was only publishing independently for the while. So she had put her books out on ebooks on Kindle Unlimited, and she self-published her paperbacks. And now she has now been picked up by Bloom Books. So, but people would never have found her books if they didn't have Kindle Unlimited. So that one is $9.99 a month. I don't know if that's the Canadian price. I think I pay $9.99. That could be the American price, and mine could be higher. I don't remember. But Kindle Unlimited, if you think you're gonna read a lot of books, because Kindle Unlimited gives you the ability to read unlimited amount of books for that $9.99. You just can only have 20 books checked out basically on your Kindle Unlimited at a time. So you just have to return them as you read them, and then you can read as many books as you can in that month. And the last place that I get books from is NetGalley, and this is an awesome place for getting eARC books. So if you're interested in reading and reviewing a book before it's released, you should check out NetGalley. There are some books that are quite easy to get, usually more from smaller independent publishers or smaller publishing houses. Some books are very difficult to get, like anything from Berkeley Books, which is one of the biggest romance publishers that there is. If you don't have like a 90 to 100% feedback rate, you won't get accepted for a Berkeley book. But I find that I get a lot of books there. I tend to only get books where I've already read something by that author, because I don't like DNFing a book that I'm supposed to be reviewing for NetGalley. So I have DNF'd and like not finished a couple of them and did not give feedback for a few of them, but it drags your rating down. So when you first go to NetGalley, my first instinct was to just sign up for everything that I thought I liked. And now that I've been on it for a few months, I've taken a step back, and I really only request books that I think I know that I'm gonna like, and I try to only request so many that release at a certain amount of time, because in addition to reading these, I'm also reading all of these new releases, plus trying to read back on my TBR list. So I can't read 20 books that are going to release in the same month because I just don't have the time. So I'm also very cautious of when the books release and need to be reviewed by, as well as the authors and who they're by. But those are my tips for how to read books for cheaper prices than paying for all of these books brand new. So check out your library, especially check out their digital resources. You can get an account for Queens Public Library in New York. I will put a link in the description below for that one. That one does cost money. You can get Kindle Unlimited. And did I miss one? I don't think so. You can get Kindle Unlimited, and you can sign up for NetGalley for free eARCs. So those are all of my tips for getting books. Oh, and buying physical books, getting them on sale, things like that. Costco is a really good resource. I don't know how Costco in the States is, but Costco in Canada, their book prices are really affordable. I got this Tessa Bailey series, as you can see, $13.99 a book, and in Canada they retail for $23.99. So that's $10 off, which please don't ask me to do math. I don't know the percentage offhand, but each book was $13.99, and so I got the whole series for a really good deal. So check Costco if you're looking for books, and check Amazon or check Walmart, because they like to put their new releases on 25 or 30% off the Canadian cover price, which is also a really good deal. So if I'm buying print copies, those are usually my go-tos. And then I get from Indigo when they have sales on, And I usually do Amazon for my pre-orders if I know I want that book immediately, because Amazon will pre-ship pre-orders so they get delivered on the release date, whereas Indigo won't ship a pre-order until it's released. So like I have a pre-order of the Graham Effect, the new Elle Kennedy book. It's an offshoot of her Off-Campus series. And because I wanted the Indigo exclusive with the pretty purple cover, I had to order it from Indigo. And even though it releases on Halloween, I'm not expected to get it until November 7th or 8th. But I did have a pre-order for Iron Flame, the hardcover, the new Fourth Wing book, but I ended up canceling it because it also wasn't expected until the 14th, which is a week after its release date. I pre-ordered it from Amazon, and now it's expected right around the 7th. So that's a tip. If you're pre-ordering books and you want them immediately and you don't think you can make it to a physical bookstore, then pre-ordering from Amazon will get you the book faster. So those are all my tips. I'm going to redo them again. So print books, try to find them as cheap as you can because book pricing is atrocious right now. Check out your library, support your library. Libraries are an excellent place, not just for books. They have so much more than books, but especially their digital resources. You can use Queen's Library's digital resource for a fee. You can get Kindle Unlimited books for a fee, and you can sign up for a free NetGalley account and try to get free e-arcs if you are willing to review those books. So those are all my tips. I hope you have a great day. If you have any other places where you're getting books from that are legal, I do not support piracy on this account. If you make any comments about where to find pirated books, I will take them down. I do not support piracy at all for books. They do not support the authors. If we want these authors to be able to keep putting out books, we need to be able to support them legally. So if you have any ideas on legal ways to get to read your books, then leave them in the comments below. But on that note, have a good day. Bye.